Now that you have a general understanding of feedback, some associated terms, and difficulties surrounding it, we'll move forward discussing how senior counsel should approach delivering and receiving feedback to and from associates or legal assistants. As stated by Connor, law firm associates are rarely slackers. The same could be said for paralegals and legal assistants. Unfortunately, effort only is not always enough, and there will be times that constructive criticism needs to be delivered. In regards to delivering feedback to associates or legal assistants, Connor further states feedback needs to be delivered early and often. Additionally, feedback should be contemporaneous with the event or incident. The reasons for this approach should be self-evident. Simply, time passes and people forget. So when it's time for seniors to deliver constructive feedback, Oxley makes a few of these following suggestions. Define your goals. Attack the problem and not the person. Focus on impacts. Give actionable advice. And always collaborate. Never dictate. You define your goal by determining the reasons for giving feedback. Whatever the reasons may be, know exactly why and how the feedback will help you meet your goal. Focusing on problems and not people is just what it says. Avoid personal attacks. When discussing impacts to the firm and clients, do so from a cause and effect perspective, not one of blame. Giving actionable feedback means to go a step past telling an employee that they should work on their attitude and that they should become a better team player. Instead, senior counsels need to deliver solid advice about what specific steps should be taken and include a type of follow-up that would measure the associates or assistants' progress. Finally, in the spirit of America, collaborate, do not dictate. Although you should be prepared to enter a meeting regarding feedback with ready-made advice, make sure you're open to collaboration. Now, question. Does the associate or legal assistant have good advice that could help themselves improve their performance? It is quite possible that they do. And when working in a traditional work environment, managing feedback would be similar to the latter examples and normally take place between owners and managers and the employees. But in a law firm and other professional services-based industries, there's potential for risky feedback related to conversations to take place when you're dealing with clients as well. For example, clients hire attorneys to represent them and pay good money for their services. When representing a client, it is not an easy task delivering anything that is not good news. An example of delivering upsetting news may be informing a client that has hired an attorney for a collection matter and that after finally chasing down the debtor and filing a suit to recover those debts owed, the debtor has filed a Chapter 13. Now you're facing a no-asset bankruptcy case and the recovery of funds from the debtor is highly unlikely. Now they're not only facing the money they lost from the debtor, but also facing payment for an attorney that will prove to be unrecoverable eventually as well. Another risky client feedback related situation can be caused when, according to Scroll+Vogel, attorneys assume they understand their clients' priorities without asking their clients directly. Continuing from the previous example, let's say this was the first matter handled by the firm for the client. Also, this was the first time the client had sought an attorney to perform collections for them. The client acted upon referral and the reputation of other successful collections from the firm. Because of the turnkey approach this firm used regarding collection matters, both the client and the firm somewhat skimmed over the details of the collection process and what the client should expect. If both sides would have taken the time to be more direct and forthcoming with the expectations, maybe the firm would have realized that the client preferred a less aggressive approach that may or may not have forced the debtor to file for bankruptcy. In addition to the firm, client feedback should be important to clients as well for two reasons. First, it gives a client a structured way to let the service provider understand what is and isn't working. Secondly, it is the best way for the service provider to hear from the client in regards to what service providers does help or interferes with them delivering their goods and services. Another thing to keep in mind is that feedback is not always delivered directly to clients by senior counsels. Therefore, it is imperative the feedback between managers, senior counsels, associates, and legal assistants regarding clients is managed correctly.